Good morning, my dear students. Today, in the basic concept of chemistry, I am going to discuss the classification of organic compounds based on the functional group. I am Dr. R. Unasegaran, Professor of Chemistry, who is taking class for you. So, classification of organic compound based on functional group, we can classify organic compound into number of types. So let me discuss now. Kindly follow. This is the most important chapter in organic chemistry. So I have given in the form of two tables. One is types, another is functional group. Number one, alkane. Number two, alkenes. Number three, alkynes. All the three compounds combiningly we will call it as hydrocarbon. General term is hydrocarbon. But each types of organic compound is having a characteristic general formula. So, in the case of alkanes, there is no functional group present. A specific example, methane, ethane, examples. So, there is no functional group, simply carbon and hydrogen is present, saturated compound. So, there is no functional group. Number two, alkenes. A specific first member is ethylene, functional group. Next one, propene, butene is going on. But here, even though the double bond is present, I am giving here as functional group. Strictly speaking, the double bond and triple bond, they are not functional group. They are called unsaturation. Please follow when we are going to discuss the naming of organic compound. Under this, I will give the difference between the functional group and unsaturation. Anyhow, in some cases, temporarily, we are allowing this as a functional group. Okay. Alkenes, double bond is present. Specific example, ethylene. The next, alkynes, specific example, acetylene. This is the functional group, triple bond. The next example is alkyl halide, general formula RX. Kindly follow. RX is the general formula. So X can be fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and R can be any carbon atom, any number of carbon atom. It may be 1, 2, 3, 4, any number. So functional group is X. So alkyl halides. The next alcohol functional group is OH. That means ROH. Kindly follow. I will write as ROH. A general, the members are lower members, methanol and ethanol, the lower members. The next, I will go for ether, functional group is O. That means the first member is the dimethyl ether, common name, IUPAC, methoxymethane. I will come later naming. So this is ether, first member. The second member is methoxyethane. That is ethyl methyl ether. Kindly follow. Number 7, aldehyde, functional group. The first member is formaldehyde. Second member is acetaldehyde. Kindly follow, my dear students, and all these when we are discussing about the aldehydes. So you have to keep it in your mind. It's an aliphatic aldehyde as well as aromatic aldehyde. The simple example is If you take a benzene ring, it is an aromatic where this functional group you can add. So, for example, these two are aliphatic aldehyde. This is called benzaldehyde, aromatic aldehyde. So, whenever I am discussing about the functional group, you have to keep it on your mind, aliphatic as well as aromatic. But here I am giving only the functional group I am saying. You have to keep it in mind. This is applicable both for aliphatic and aromatic. Okay, let me go for the next one is ketone. Ketone, general formula RCOR. This is the general formula. The first member is acetone. Acetone is the first member, aliphatic. Aromatic is, first member is acetophenone. Kindly follow. Okay, the next one, carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid, general formula RCOOH, functional group COH. So, the first member is formic acid. Aromatic acid is benzoic acid. Benzoic acid. Okay, now the next is acid derivatives will come for acid anhydride. The simple example, aliphatic, I can give you COO, then CH3CO connected. This is acetic anhydride, aliphatic. Same aromatic, I can give phthalic anhydride. This is the phthalic anhydride functional group. A ester, a general formula is RCOOR. This is the ester. So this may be R dash I can put, it may be different, same or different. The first example, formate, methyl formate. Example. So if I want to write for the corresponding aromatic, I can say methyl benzoate. Methyl benzoate. Same way, when you go for acid halide, kindly follow the RCOX. S can be as usual, any halide. I can see simple example, acetyl chloride. Aliphatic, aromatic, benzoyl chloride. So functional group COX. So continuous. Acid amide, these are all acid derivatives. So I will write general formula RCONH2. Specific NH2. Specific example, acetamide. NH2. Aromatic, the corresponding benzamide. Kindly follow. This is called benzamide. Let me come for the next functional group, NO2. NO2, general formula RNO2. So aliphatic, nitromethane. Aliphatic. Aromatic, nitrobenzene. Kindly follow. Nitrobenzene. The same way, alkyl nitrite, RONO. Alkyl nitrite. I can say methyl nitrite. The corresponding aromatic also, the benzyl, the nitrile benzene. Amines. Next. Coming for amine, general formula RNH2. The first member, methyl amine. Aliphatic. Aromatic, a very famous aniline. Then cyanide, general formula RCN, specific formula methyl cyanide, and aromatic phenyl cyanide. Coming for isocyanide, kindly follow the same thing, RNC. I can write methyl isocyanide or phenyl isocyanide. Another name is carbylamine. Kindly follow. So I told you all these functional groups based on the classified based on the functional groups. So now I am going to discuss all the test for all the compound, that is test for hydrocarbons, test for alkyl halides, test for alcohol, ether, test for aldehyde and ketones, then test for carboxylic acid and its derivatives, test for nitroalkanes and alkyl nitrites, test for amino compounds, test for alkyl cyanides, test for alkyl isocyanide, and test for biomolecules I will discuss here. The first one, it is a test for hydrocarbon. It is test number 1, test for hydrocarbon. Combinedly I am taking in the form of a table. My dear students, this chapter is very, very important chapter because your book will not contain the functional group test. This is the higher level, BHE level. But you must know, you can expect questions in NEET from this one. First, let me give now, there are actually 4 tests are available to differentiate alkane, alkenes and alkynes. So we can call it as test for functional hydrocarbon, or to differentiate alkane, alkenes and alkyne, we can use this one also. The first one, action of bromine water. That means you take a test tube containing water, pass these gases, alkanes or alkyne, like that. You take 3 test tubes, pass these gases. Now add bromine water in all the 3 test tubes. Suppose if it is alkane, bromine water is yellow color, that is it will not decolorize. No decolorization takes place in the case of alkane. Whereas alkene, a double bond is present, undergo decolorization. A triple bond is present, undergoes decolorization. So alkane can be easily identified from alkene and alkynes. The reason is, kindly follow, let me give a simple example. A double bond is present. When you add bromine, what will happen now? That molecular bromine is yellow color, so it will convert the single bond CH2. So Br here is also Br. So that is atomic bromine is colorless. So undergoes decolorization. Kindly follow. This is the case for acetylene also, alkyne. So in the case of bromine water, action of bromine water, only alkenes and alkyne answers, where alkane will not answer. You can very easily identify which is alkane. The same way, action of potassium permanganate, it is pink color. There is no decolorization in the case of alkanes, whereas alkenes and alkynes undergo decolorization. Pink color will decolorize. So by these 2 tests, you can identify alkane. Next, our duty is how to differentiate alkane from alkyne. There are 2 tests here. Number 3, action of ammoniacal silver nitrate. What is ammoniacal silver nitrate? Take silver nitrate solution, add ammonium hydroxide. That solution is ammoniacal solutions. So what you have to do now? Now just you take this ammoniacal solution, add your alkane, alkenes and alkynes and keep it on your water bath. Kindly follow, no characteristic precipitate is formed in the case of alkanes, no characteristic precipitate in the case of alkenes, whereas in the case of alkynes, triple bond, a bright silver mirror or a black precipitate is formed. Very, very important. So by these 3rd test, action of ammoniacal silver nitrate, you can easily identify alkyne. Actually, what is happening there, you kindly listen me. So you are taking, there is acetylene is present. So you are adding actually the silver nitrate you are adding, ammoniacal silver nitrate you are adding. So this hydrogen present in the acetylene is acidic in nature, so that will replace by the metallic atom silver. So what we are having, C triple bond C Ag and again Ag. This is called silver acetylide. Silver acetylide is formed. A bright silver mirror or block precipitate. Kindly follow. It is formed here. So actually here, so the formation of a precipitate indicates the presence of, depending upon the nature, it shows it is alkynes. We can differentiate from alkanes and alkyne. The same way, the next question is, next reagent is action of ammoniacal cuprous chloride. Ammoniacal cuprous chloride, that is Cu2Cl2. Cuprous chloride, that is cuprous chloride. Then what will happen now? When you are treating with cuprous chloride, what is happening here? The alkane, no characteristic precipitate. Here, no characteristic precipitate. Here, a red precipitate is formed. What is happening here? Red precipitate. It is again the acetylene undergoes replacement of Cu and this Cu. Hydrogen is replaced by copper. This is copper slide. Copper is a red precipitate is formed. Actually, in the case of silver, a white precipitate is formed. In the case of copper, it is red precipitate. Depending upon the nature of the metal, the color will vary. Kindly follow now. So, within one test, I can be able to differentiate alkane, alkene and alkyne. So, test for hydrocarbon. Now, come for a test for alkyl halides. So, general formula RH. So, when you treat with sodium hydroxide, it is now from the organic compounds, the halides are present in the covalent bond. So, when it fused with strong sodium hydroxide, it is converted to the inorganic form, sodium halide. So, when sodium halide, now when we treat with silver nitrate solution, you will get silver halide is precipitated. It may be silver chloride, it may be silver bromide, it may be silver iodide. It may be any of the precipitate. Kindly follow. So, what is happened now? The most important information is, so after the formation, you can say now that to the test tube add ammonium hydroxide. Ammonium hydroxide. White precipitate soluble in ammonium hydroxide, silver chloride. The pale yellow precipitate sparingly soluble, silver bromide. Yellow precipitate insoluble in ammonium hydroxide, silver iodide. So, we can easily test the presence of halides. Now, let me go for test for alcohols. So, any alcohol you treat with an aromatic acid in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid, acid medium, you heat strongly and then add a few drops in a beaker containing water and then neutralize with ammonium hydroxide. Excess acid should be neutralized. And if you smell, you will get a smell of fruity odor. Fruity odor, you can get it. That shows your compound is an alcohol. That means OH is present. But we are using an acid, so OH is present. Kindly follow, my dear students. The same test you can give in the case of acid, where you will use alcohol. Kindly follow. So this test is called esterification test. It is a very characteristic, important test. The second test is action of metallic sodium. Take 1 ml of metallic sodium in a test tube, add 1 drop of dry metallic sodium, brisk effervescence due to the formation of hydrogen gas that shows sodium alkoxide is formed. Kindly follow, this metallic sodium is a general test, not only specific for alcohol, for any acidic hydrogen this will answer. So just is only a supporting test. So main test is esterification test. Okay. Ether. Coming for ether, it is chemically inert. Kindly follow dimethyl ether I am taking. This ether, there is, the functional group is O. Both sides is protected by methyl group. It is chemically inert. However, when treated with strong HI at higher temperature, it will produce alkyl iodide which can be tested like halides. Just now we have discussed. See, for example, if you have that is your halide, the ether, dimethyl ether. So I am treating with 2HI. Kindly follow. So what is happening now? Here H, here I. The same way another H, then you can say I. Kindly follow now. So what is happening? 2 moles of methyl iodide plus water is formed. So once after the formation of methyl iodide, you can as usual test for halide. If it is iodine is identified, you can say it is ether. Kindly follow. Now let me come for test for carbonyl compounds or specifically aldehydes and ketones. Even carboxylic acid also, as per our book, CBSE book, it is given carbonyl compound. Aldehyde, ketone and acids are given together as carbonyl compounds. So now I will give separately test for aldehyde and ketone. This is called carbonyl compound, that is called carboxylic acids. Okay, now how will you differentiate aldehydes and ketones? I have already informed you the general formula aldehyde group RCHO. This is RCO. This is the difference between aldehyde and ketone. So the test 1, Borsky test. What is Borsky test? To 1 ml of Borsky reagent, a few drops of liquid or a few crystals of compound if it is added. That means aldehyde and ketone may be liquids or solid, you can add. And heat in a water bath. Kindly follow. What is Borsky reagent? Please follow, sometime they will ask. Borsky reagent is, I will write here, 2,4 dinitrophenyl hydrazine. 2,4 dinitrophenyl hydrazine is called Borsky reagent. So when you treat with, what will happen? They will undergo condensation reaction and produce the corresponding precipitate. So now if it is aldehyde and ketone, both will answer for Borsky reagent. Yellow or red precipitate, depending upon the nature of aldehyde or ketone, you will get. So precipitate is formed. So we will confirm it is aldehyde or ketone. So Borsky reagent is not able to differentiate aldehyde and ketone, but it will useful to identify the presence of aldehyde and ketone from other functional groups. Skiff's reagent. What is Skiff's reagent? It is para-rose-aniline in sulfur dioxide. It is a complex structure. It is a dye. A few drops of aldehyde or ketone and a few drops of the Skiff's reagent you can add it. Immediately magenta color is produced. Rosy red color is produced if it is aldehyde. No magenta in the case of ketone. So you can able to differentiate aldehyde from ketone. Only aldehyde give magenta, ketone will not give magenta. So from Skiff's reagent you can differentiate. The third one, Tollens reagent, ammoniacal silver nitrate. Ammoniacal silver nitrate. We have seen already under the alkane. To 1 ml of reagent, add a few drops of crystals and heat in a water bath. And when you are heating in bath, bright silver mirror or black precipitate shows aldehyde. No bright silver mirror or black precipitate, it is ketone. So only aldehyde will answer but not ketone. Because ketone is both sides protected, it does not undergo oxidation. This is a weak oxidizing agent. The same way, Felling's reagent or Felling's test. Felling's A, Felling's B. What is Felling's A? Felling's A is sodium potassium tartrate and Felling's B is copper sulfate. Mix equal quantity 1:1. To that 1 ml of this reagent mixture, add a few drops or few crystals and heat in a water bath. As usual, if it is an aldehyde, a red precipitate is formed due to the formation of copper oxide, and No red precipitate shows ketone. So the interesting information here it is, Bosch reagent is common to both aldehyde and ketone, whereas Gibbs test, Tollens test and Fleming test only suitable for aldehyde. It is not for ketone. So by these three tests, you can differentiate from ketone. Kindly follow. Coming for carboxylic acid. The most important, I know already written, carboxylic acid is RCOH, general formula COH. The first test is action of saturated sodium bicarbonate test. This is the most important test for acid. So you take carboxylic acid, if it is a solid or liquid, you take. Before that, you take a saturated solution of sodium bicarbonate in a test tube. And if it is a liquid, formic acid, acetic acid liquid, if you add liquid, other aromatic acid solid, you add a little pinch. You can see there is brisk effervescence due to the formation of the carbon dioxide gas will come out, because first sodium corresponding acid and carbonic acid is formed, which is unstable decomposed to give carbon dioxide and water. So always you will get liberation of carbon dioxide. We can see it as a brisk effervescence. The brisk effervescence you cannot see as here is a very easily you can identify. That is, you keep it in your eyes, you can see there is the bubbles coming. But if it is a mineral acid, kindly follow, the solution even come out from the test tube. The very vigorous reaction with mineral acid, with aromatic, with the organic acid is very less effective. Okay. The most important, I told you already, esterification test is another most important test for carboxylic acid, always suitable. So in this case, we are using the acid is available, so we are using alcohol as the additional. If it is benzoic acid, we are treating with methyl alcohol or ethyl alcohol in presence of concentric acid. After heating, we are adding a few drops into a beaker containing water. So then this water is neutralized by ammonium hydroxide. Fruity odor shows the presence of acid. Kindly follow. Presence of aromatic acid. Kindly follow. Kindly follow. The next is action of metallic sodium. I told you the metallic sodium also will react with the acid, because any replaceable hydrogen atom reacts with metallic sodium to give sodium the corresponding acid, and hydrogen is liberated. So brisk effervescence shows there is acidic hydrogen. The test for nitro compound. The most important, normally nitro compounds are chemically inert. Please follow, chemically inert. But there is a specific reagent called action of nitrous acid. This will come under the, kindly follow, alcohol, differentiation of alcohol, that is Victor Mayer test. You will might study. Now I am taking in the steps from alcohol, I am taking only from the nitrocarbon side only. First alcohol will be converted into halide. Halide by treated with silver nitrate converted into corresponding nitro compound. So I take only this step to differentiate. Kindly follow now. Primary, secondary and tertiary nitroalkane behave differently when treated with nitrous acid followed by potassium hydroxide. What is primary, secondary, tertiary? Let me explain, kindly follow. Suppose I will take now the 4 carbon atom NO. This is, I will call it as nitrobutane. Okay. So primary means the functional group attached to one carbon. This is again to attach to another carbon, primary. What is secondary? Kindly follow. Secondary means CH3, CH, NO2, this is CH3. This is nitropropane. So this is attached to one carbon. Further, this carbon is attached to 2 other carbon. This is secondary. Please follow. What is tertiary? Kindly follow. CH3, C11CH3, CH3 and NO2. So now this is called actually simply this is tertiary butyl. So tertiary butane you cannot say. So I can give in the form of IUPAC name. This is called 2-nitro, the 2-methyl, the number I will give 1, 2, 3. That is 2-methyl 2-nitropropane. This is called tertiary butyl nitro compound. So how it is? It is attached to a carbon. This is attached to 3 other carbon. So it is tertiary. So my dear students, hereafter you remember this primary, secondary and tertiary means. This is the meaning you must understand. Any functional group, if it is attached to a carbon, that carbon is attached to 1 carbon primary, 2 carbon secondary, 3 carbon tertiary. So let me come back here. Now first let me take a primary nitroalkane. Simple example, nitroethane I will take. When I add nitrous acid is not stable acid available in the laboratory. We have to prepare on the spot. How? By mixing sodium nitrate and HCl or sulfuric acid, any acid, you will get automatically nitrous acid. So nitric acid you have to prepare in the spot. Take it. Now to that you add your nitroethane. So when you add nitroethane, what happens now? The alpha carbon, this is beta, containing 2 hydrogen. So from these 2 hydrogen means it will remove this oxygen, so forming this compound. So CH3CNO2, the double bond O is removed, so NOH. So this compound, when you treat with potassium hydroxide, there is acidic OH, so potassium is replaced. So this complex is giving red color. Please follow. So if it is a primary nitro compound, it will give a red color. So it is a test for nitro compound, specifically for primary nitro compound. The same way, let me go for action of nitrous acid in the case of secondary. Secondary gives blue color. Please follow. I have given the example. This is called 2-nitropropane. 2-nitropropane. That is actually isopropane. This is. So 2-nitropropane we will call it. Okay. Now, kindly follow nitrous acid as usual we have to prepare. Then when you treat here, kindly follow, there is only 1 hydrogen is present. So it will not remove this oxygen. Instead of that, it will take this OH. So what will happen now? Water will be eliminated as usual. So NO2 will be attached to carbon. When NO2 attached to, you treat with potassium hydroxide, it is insoluble because there is no the corresponding the color is blue color is produced. This compound is blue color. Here it is insoluble in potassium hydroxide. Coming for the tertiary, kindly follow my dear students. I told you already I have written the same compound. So attached to 1, further attached to 3, so it is tertiary. So when I treat with nitrous acid, there is no replaceable hydrogen atom in this carbon. No reaction takes place. No characteristic color. So how we can now, let me conclude now. So if it is primary, it gives red color. If it is secondary, it gives blue color. If it is tertiary, it will give no color. We can able to easily identify as well as differentiate primary, secondary and tertiary nitro compound. So for just one word I want to give student to memorize. You memorize State Bank. State Bank. These are some code word to remember. SB. Secondary blue. Secondary blue. Automatically primary red. Tertiary colorless. So in order to keep memory, I am giving this shortcut. Okay. Next I will go for test for amine. So the most important test is carbyl amine test. That is carbyl amine test. That is formation of isocyanide. That is the name is carbyl amine. So generally in this test, what is happening? We are treating primary amine, in this case methylamine, on heating with chloroform and alcoholic potash, forms a foul smelling substance called carbamide. It's a poisonous gas. It is the responsible gas for the Bhopal tragedy in India. Long back, the lakhs of people died in their factory. Gas leak. Okay. So what will happen if it is a primary amine? It produces isocyanide, or I can say carbalamine. So easily you can identify the primary amine. This reaction is characteristic of primary amine. Secondary and tertiary amine do not undergo this reaction. So you can be able to differentiate primary from secondary and tertiary amines. Now the test for amines, second I will give the action of diethyl oxalate. When diethyl oxalate, this is the structure, oxalic acid, both side ethyl group, primary amines form a dialkyl oxamide, a solid at room temperature, whereas secondary amine form a liquid N, N dialkyl oxamic ester. Tertiary amine form no reaction. This is simply as such. So this way also we can able to differentiate the amine, primary, secondary and tertiary amines. So we can also use as a test for this one. There is another reason is called the Hinsberg reagent. That is, what is Hinsberg reagent is the same way it is para-toluyl sulfonyl chloride. This is the commonly used reagent, Hinsberg reagent. Hinsberg reagent. This is normally asked, commonly used in the laboratory. The same way it will act. Kindly follow. Now let me come for the cyanide test. So any cyanide, when you treat with water in presence of acid, produce corresponding acid. So methyl cyanide, acetic acid. Kindly follow through the formation of amide, finally acetic acid. So if there is formation of ammonia. So whenever you treat with cyanide water, ammonia smell will come. You can easily, and acid will form. You can easily identify the cyanide. Kindly follow. So with this, I can go the remaining isocyanide and biomolecules. So I can, when I was discussing that compound, I will give the specific example. So there is no specific characteristic test because biomolecule means a number of molecules are there. So let me stop with this. I will go for now the classification. Generally, the entire organic compounds classify into, I will say, organic compounds. Kindly follow. I can classify into aliphatic, I can simply say, kindly follow, organic compounds. I can basically classify, one is open chain, another is closed chain. Kindly follow. Here I have indicated hydrocarbon because starting from that. So generally I can use the word organic compound. Any organic compound I can classify as open chain compound and closed chain compound. Because if I use general organic compound, I have to give a number of examples. That not to avoid that, I have taken specifically hydrocarbon. Understand this? Say for example, if it is halide, I will add here Cl group. Here I will add a Cl group. That's the only difference. Alcohol, I will add alcohol, I will add alcohol. So this is the general. So I will take specifically so you can easily understand. So let me take an hydrocarbon, a specific example. Open chain, I am taking hexane. N-hexane, normal for hexane is the IUPAC name. This is cyclohexane, closed chain. So generally I can open chain, closed chain I can. So coming for the open chain, kindly follow, I can further classify into saturated hydrocarbon, unsaturated hydrocarbon. So saturated, you know already, methane, ethane, methyl chloride, ethyl chloride like this. Unsaturated, we know already, double bond and triple bond, unsaturated. So all these differentiation I have already explained to you. Kindly follow. So unsaturated compound containing double bond, compound containing triple bond. Okay. So this example we have already discussed, so not necessary we have to repeat again. The next we have to go for, because this I have discussed under the, kindly follow, the test for functional group I have discussed. Alkane, alkene and alkynes. Alkane saturated. This is double bond. This is triple bond. All the four tests I have discussed under the functional groups. So that I am skipping this because I have already discussed. Coming for open chain compounds, what way I can classify? Without any functional groups, open chain. So all simply alkane. Specific example alkane. With one functional group starting from halide, alcohol, aldehyde, acid, all other functional groups. See here, I am not including double bond and triple bond because it is only indicating unsaturation. So it is not specific functional groups. It is not obeying the IUPAC rules of functional groups. So the more than one functional groups, a specific example, lactic acid, CH3CHOH, your two the functional group, OH, COH. Here pyruvic acid, CH3CO, COH. This is tartaric acid, CHOH, COH, CHOH. That is four functional group. So I can classify further like this. Okay. Let me come for the unsaturation. Please follow this. We have this ethylene, propylene. So corresponding for another functional group, vinyl chloride, allyl chloride. Example. Now, come for triple bond. This is acetylene propyne. Kindly follow. Now, so coming for closed chain, so I can classify broadly into homocyclic and heterocyclic. What is the meaning of homocyclic? Homo means all the atom involved in the cycle should be same carbon, same atom. So let me say carbon, 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 and CH2 always will be there. So that is cyclohexane. Kindly follow. Cyclohexane. But when you are writing conventionally, we are not writing the CH2 will not put. We will simply write this is cyclohexane. Suppose you want to mention it is a benzene, you will put a round inside, benzene. So cyclohexane is a homocyclic. Heterocyclic means any one of the 6 carbon atoms or 5-member ring or 6-member ring or 4-member ring, there will be a heteroatom. I can give a simple example. So I will take here pyridine. This is pyridine. N it is there instead of carbon atom. It is also 6-member ring, heterocyclic. Most of the medicine you can go, they are containing heterocyclic compound. Kindly follow. So homocyclic, I can further classify as an aliphatic and aromatic. Aliphatic simple example, there is cyclohexane. Aromatic simple example, benzene. Same way, heterocyclic also will have aliphatic, aromatic. So aliphatic means simply I can write same NH I can say. This is called piperidine. This is called pyridine. So piperidine is aliphatic, pyridine is aromatic. And also, when you are writing cyclohexane, we can write saturated is cyclohexane, unsaturated there may be a one single bond or double bond may be there. Kindly follow, I will give in detail. Now this is the most important, please note my dear students, very very important. How to differentiate aliphatic from aromatic compound. The test here, number 1, solubility in water. Take your water, test tube in water, add your aromatic compounds. Another test tube, add your aliphatic compound. Generally, the aromatic compound insoluble. Generally, aliphatic compound only lower members soluble, higher members are insoluble. So this is not so important. Not so important. Only lower member. For example, methanol, ethanol will soluble. When you go for N-butanol, insoluble. So these two tests is most important. Combustibility. Burn with smoky flame. Aromatic compounds burn with the smoky flame, whereas aliphatic compound burn without smoky flame. So there is reason, probably no books is giving this explanation. Why we are having in the case of aromatic smoky flame, in the case of aliphatic without smoky. Let me write example you can follow. Suppose I am taking methane aliphatic, I am oxidizing, allowed to burn combustion to produce carbon dioxide and water. Please follow. So when I want to balance this, so these two, in order to balance, I write here. So automatically just here 2, here I am writing 2 oxygen. So balanced. So in the product, carbon dioxide is 1, this is 2 ratio. 1:2 ratio of carbon dioxide and water. So water is excess is formed. So in the case of aliphatic compound, carbon dioxide will not come out. It will form in this water itself, converting into carbonic acid. So generally, no smoky flame you can see in the aliphatic. But in the case of aromatic, what is happening? Just see here, again, you take benzene, you heat with oxygen, combustibility, and again final product is same, carbon dioxide and water. All organic compound combustion gives carbon dioxide and water. I will balance this 6 times, 6 carbon, 12. So this is 6 hydrogen. So I can now 6, this is 3. So 6 automatically. So 3 plus here, oxygen countly 12 plus 3, 15. So I will put simply 7.5. So normally when you are balancing, we will not put 0.5. So simply I will multiply everything by 2. So that means 2 benzene, here 15 O2, give her 12 CO2, here 6 H2O. Kindly follow. That means carbon dioxide 12, water is 6. Ratio is 2:1 ratio. That is, carbon dioxide is formed excess of carbon dioxide compared to water. That is why the carbon dioxide is escaping to the atmosphere as smoky flame. So any organic compound, that is specifically aromatic compound, burns, it will give smoky flame. But both will catch fire immediately, there is no doubt. The smoky flame only in the case of aromatic. Very, very important. The second important is nitration. This is another most important. Normally, in the case of aromatic compound, generally give yellow colored solution or precipitate. Whereas the aliphatic compound generally give colorless solution. Exception here is acetone. So now let me give why color is coming in the form of, let me take the benzene. I am doing the nitration, nitric acid and sulfuric acid mixture I am heating. So compound is nitrobenzene. Kindly follow, I am getting a nitrobenzene. So what is happening now? I will write in the form of the structure, bond structure to understand. Kindly follow. Alternatively single bond, then N, double bond O, this is O. This is the actual structure of nitrobenzene. So when benzene ring is present, that absorption of energy that is coming in the visible region, it is not coming in the visible region, it is only in the IR region or in the UV region, so we cannot see. But when you introduce NO2 group, the functional group, the conjugation increases. See here, single bond, double bond, single, double, single, double, single, again double. So the conjugation, extra conjugation increases. As per organic form, the basic principle, whenever conjugation increases, lambda value increases. Whenever lambda value increases, so it will come to the visible region. So the group that are characteristic group, will call it as, these groups are called actually specifically responsible for color. So this NO2 giving yellow color for this one. So each group will give a characteristic group. So that these will call it as chromophore. Okay, so yellow color is formed. So that is, so generally all the substituted the benzene compounds. When you do nitration to any compound, aromatic compound, you will get yellow solution or yellow precipitate. Please follow. Now, let me come back. Closed chain, I told you homocyclic and heterocyclic. Example I have explained. And this is aliphatic, this is aromatic, cyclohexane and benzene. Coming for heterocyclic also, saturated and unsaturated. Kindly follow heterocyclic, that is homocyclic aliphatic compound, cyclohexane, ANE. This is cyclohexene. Kindly follow one ene, one double bond, unsaturated. Now, here I am giving a, kindly follow, I am giving a number of homocyclic aromatic compounds. A few examples I am giving. So benzene with the structural formula to understand. Phenol. This is salicylic acid. This is naphthalene. These are all homocyclic aromatic compounds. Now, heterocyclic compound also we can classify aliphatic and aromatic. I tell you this is piperidine, this is pyridine. I told you. Coming for heterocyclic aliphatic compound, this is saturated. Unsaturated means there will be one or double bond will be there. This piperidine, this is we can say tetrahydropiperidine. Kindly follow. Now, the correspondingly saturated heterocyclic compound. Saturated, this is heterocyclic, 1, type 1. Type 2, 2 functional group. Type 3, 3 functional group is going on. So unsaturated as usual, in this there is double bond type 1, double bond type 2. Kindly follow. Now coming for heterocyclic aromatic compounds. This is pyridine. This is again containing OH. This is containing OH and COH. This is called dicyclic compound. Again this is the quinoline. This compound is. So very interesting information I have given to you, my dear students. So thank you, my dear students, for your kind cooperation you have listened so far. And the students who are having a chance to look my channel, NEET Chemistry by Dr. R. Gunasekharan in YouTube, if you enter, kindly, if you are a new member, click like, share your friends and press the subscribe button to encourage me. And one important information I want to give for students who are waiting to write NEET entrance examination conducted by Government of India. My dear students, I am running a veterinary coaching center in Pondicherry for the last 21 years. And if you go inside the home page of our website, veterinary.us, you can view our achievements for the 20 years. That means every year we are sending 15 to 20 students to GIMMAR, 150 to 200 students to other medical colleges we are sending. And we are sending engineering students and many students are sending. Now, I want to give 3 important features of veterinary.us website, our website. Because in this critical situation of the virus problem, so better we have to stay in house and we have to learn. Okay. In this case, so online is better for you, and this online is like your class coaching, is even better than class coaching. How I can prove? Number 1 feature is our veterinary.us is having 200 video recorded lessons are there. Each chapter, unit wise, depending upon the unit, we will take through 2 lessons, 3 lessons, 4 lessons, 5 lessons we will take. Kindly, for example, atomic structure means we will have some 4 lessons, like that. So suppose the basic concept of organic chemistry means nearly 16 lessons we are taking, that depending upon the nature. So that video lesson, the convenient is you can stop and take the notes. Please follow. In all other onlines, you cannot take notes. Only you can see they are speaking, you have to listen. Here not like this. Notes will be on the board. The professor will be underlining and giving additional explanation. So if you want, you touch, it will stop. You can note the notes, or even you take a green shot and you can. Next, there are 200 unit tests available. Unit test. So for example, each unit, the basic concept of chemistry, there are 2 tests. Atomic structure, 2 tests. Like that, each unit you will have 2 tests in all subjects. 200 tests totally. What is the important feature of this test? All the question paper framed for the unit test we have taken from 20 years of questions from IIT, AIMS, AFMC, AIPMT, MSET Andhra, Karnataka, Delhi, etc. we have taken. So because of this, what is the advantage you are having by attending these 200 tests? We have observed for the last 6 years, 75 to 80 questions are same questions repeated. Same questions repeated from our question bank. So our vetted doctors will give you for you 300 plus marks will give you. Then if you are a very good student and you are doing hard work and sincerity, attending all the 200 tests, you will get 300 plus more. So by getting 600 plus, you will easily enter into All India rank. You will get JIPMER or AIMS or any other medical college you are interested. You can enter. This is the first feature. The second feature of your website, vetted.us, is there is a review menu. What is review, you can ask. So while you are attending the test, there is if you open the test, there is attempt. Click the attempt. It will ask you, here there are 45 questions, 45 minutes. Each correct answer 4 marks, wrong answer -1. Are you ready? If you say click OK, then first page will open. The page will open. In the page, kindly see, you have top question, then A, B, C, D. The options are given. Below this, again you can see here, there is 3. One is complete. This is next. Here a reverse will be there. What is this? Complete, next, reverse. Once if you complete the entire question paper, you can press complete. In between you should not complete. Press complete. Next means next question. Reverse means reverse question. And below that, another important feature of this, 1 to number will be there up to 45. 1 to number up to 45, there will be a number. Kindly follow. 1 to 45 number will be there. That will be in yellow color. So when you are attending the test, kindly follow my students. Suppose you are selecting A is the correct answer. If you click, immediately you can see the yellow color will change. The one will change green color. The second will be blue color. All the remaining the question number will be yellow color. That means you know yourself, you have attended one, you are going to attend 2, the remaining question to be attended. Kindly follow. The most important, don't press complete without any knowledge. That you have to think only at the end of 45 minutes. Then click next question, click again your option, going on. After completion, click complete, you will get the result. Immediately our software will do the work and put good like this. That is 180 out of, that is let us say 140. 140 out of 180 you are getting. So 40 marks you are not getting. So our second important feature I told you, that is review. That will be next side, the mark, next to mark it will be the menu will be there, review. If you press the menu, first question will open. Again question A, B, C, D, and here there is a video. Kindly follow. So you have pressed question number 1A. If it is, that will be in blue color. The correct answer will be given here is yellow color. Correct answer will be given yellow color. So From this, you can easily identify correct answer. Suppose your answer is also correct, will be in yellow color. Kindly follow. Then, suppose if your answer is B, means it is wrong, correct answer is yellow, so you can compare it maybe B or C or D, then you do not know. Then you do not worry, you do not go to any teacher, any book or refer or any library you have to go. Click the video below, that is solution. Professor will explain the question, options, and the theoretical background, a definition, formula, everything. Minimum 10 to 15 minutes, he will discuss the entire question paper. So, no online website in India is having this facility. You go and verify any online coaching, they are giving simply one line or two lines, that's all. So, a dull student or average student cannot understand this. Probably brilliant student may understand. But this is suitable for all category. Even very low category students, they can come up easily get 400 marks. Good, they have the more than average, they will get easily 500. Good student, they will get easily 600 plus. That is the advantage of review. Okay, next, you can ask me, sir, how to register the Vetri.S website? Very easy. So, you go to Chrome in the cover of phone or computer or any laptop tab. Click Chrome and type Vetri.S, our site will open, register and you can go. Now if you want to go our inside, fully you have to, for this is, you have to pay 10,000. It is a low cost, kindly follow the third feature. When compared to others, they are collecting in lakhs, we are collecting only 10,000 rupees per year for all the subjects. So you can view 200 lessons, you can attend to 200 tests. So how to pay this 10,000? So pay 10,000 rupees in the name of Santi, Indian Bank, account number 712719471, IFC code, ID IB000P134. Then any information or any query, if you want to contact, you contact my number is 9894176425. Thank you, my dear students. I will meet again in the next chapter. Thank you.